Maybe this one will be lighter.
Kurwa.
What the?
Have you got it done? I said, are you done?
You're milling some pretty peculiar. It's got a bit of a...
Kurva. Can't you be...
Tell me the truth. What
Seems I'll have to lift the lid off the coal. You think you're ready?
Yes.
I'm attempting to convert matter into a truth.
What?
I understand. It seems impossible. I'm sure you're asking yourself what that has to do with the metal in the sacks. You see, for my experiment, I'll need something sinfully earthy. Something we'll have to appropriate. And that's something you can help me with, my curious.
So thievery? Just like Peshek in Ratai.
Thievery? What a crude way of putting it.
But a truthful one.
Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
I'll help you.
That's the right attitude. Now listen up. In Troskovitz, next to the tavern, there's a... And in that chest is a document I need. One that used to be mine. But it's cold. The offer of Hermes Trismegistos. You said you could do all sorts of things. So I assume read.
I can read.
The catch is, the chest is under lock and key. And
Of course it is. Where exactly should I look for this? I doubt they've only got one chest in the Troskovitz rack.
I can't help you there. But he had the document on him, but then the bloody fool got... I'm pretty sure he's still on display. Just remember, lad, if you get caught like he, then it would be pretty hard to explain what a tramp like you is doing with a document he can't even...
No, I doubt the bailiff will let me roam around the rat house and go peek. Any advice on getting in there without being spotted?
Oh, come on. Do I really have to spell it? Black clothes, the play of light and dark.
Is that supposed to be advice?
Just get some inconspicuous clothes.
And where can I get some clothes like that?
I had my outfit washed in the Gilioff bathhouse, but after a bit, it's my gift to you. All you have to...
Pick them up. You want me to steal them, don't you?
Doesn't it sound like a suitable appetizer? There's no sense in trying to deal with the owner, Dorothy, anyway. She's a contrary woman who's impossible.
I'm not even surprised your paths crossed. I'd like to learn more about the art of thievery.
Thievery? Humph. Well, I call it the art of thievery. But all right, enough wordplay. If you want to learn something, he'll tell you how to relieve people of the things in their purses. And if you'd like to try opening locks without a key, there's a chest in the barn that you...
All right. I reckon I know everything. Are you Zinnek?
Yeah, look, mate, I really...
Crazel sent me. Oh, nobody said anything about a...
I'm just shaking you. They caught me at night when I was robbing a merchant, and then they make any distinction. They took everything, including that document, and locked it all away in the... You could get into the jail from the courtyard behind the rat house. It's right under the guardhouse. As soon as you find the stairs leading down...
Well, who's got the key to it?
Well, Actually, I had it, but when the guards shook it was in the chamber. Next to the... They've got a pretty soft bed in there. The key probably fell under it.
Is that the only key?
No, of course not. Best to rob one of them who's... Look, mate, do you...
Of course I do.
Good. Now let me go. Keep that in mind. See you soon, my friend.
The offer of Hermes Trismegistos. That's Krazel's document.
Greetings, my friend.
How about some more...
You've come to the right. As clumsy as a blind dog and about as inconspicuous.
I focus mainly on...
Talking your way out of a... But who knows if you'll be... What do you want to know?
What should I wear?
Something dark. It won't exactly command. Just don't go wearing... You have to be like a ghost.
I've been no...
Only a foot. And tread lightly. I don't...
That's all. What's the purpose?
You notice the...
And what's it?
I send the strongest one to shut it off once in a while. So, maybe...
And can I?
Why not?
Of course.
There you go.
I have that.
Excellent.
I even managed to get my hands on the key.
Very good.
Well,
Come on.
fine. I took a look at the document. I couldn't really make much of it.
My fifth cousin. We right.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
Did you find my family tree at the rat house? Now show it to me. So I... Good.
What now? Did you hear me?
Sorry. I owe you my thanks and maybe.
Wait a moment. Supposing you first initiate me into the... This isn't any run-of-the-mill business.
It's devilish. It's high learning. And when I say alchemy, not some hocus-pocus brew.
Tell me more about it, then.
I wouldn't be so sure. But I've taken you on as an apprentice. Now, I want to make a golem out of dough.
A god... Isn't that a kind of pie? What are you going to do?
Henry, a golem is a helper brought to life to be made of clay, wood. Studying the Jewish cabals taught me a practice known as must. Just imagine, you know, carrying sacks. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik.
My word.
So far, it's just all in my head. It's in the interest of the adventure. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to... I've no doubt that if our great whole... all the apostles would have been...
So a golem, you say?
Exactly!
And what about the good... Promise me a reward.
You already know that you can look... But for a few groschen, we could...
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, and then I'll decide whether to try...
Oh, see now? I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want...
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Craig?
Short and to the point. That's...
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter...
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which salt...
This has something to do with that alchemy of yours, eh?
Nitra is saltpeter.
And what needs salting here in the middle?
The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will but saltpeter is the...
So you're serious about this golem?
Certainly.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to...
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent...
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you.
Well, you never know when an experience like that...
All right, then. I just hope you know where to look.
Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for...
So this Bonnie is some kind of witch who's in on the...
Bonnie is someone I trust without question. And not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but the main difference is it has kind of cooling.
Hold your horses. You want me to...
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty...
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste, she'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her... That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond.
How can I get...
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks. Oh, and so I don't forget. You could pick some... She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died. On the other hand, Zedek might be holding his tongue for a while.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnek, she may want some spirit.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair. I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said...
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we... What should we call you?
Henry's fine.
Well, you know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you. Did you bring me something from...
Actually, Crazel's...
He's right there.
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what...
What kind of...
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops just so you know, that mess with the author of While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour. I'm mostly curious to see if Krazel will really be...
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my... But that's enough of that. I'd like to chat with... But if you're in a hurry...
No. I have plenty of time.
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zineg in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch... I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zineg and all the other mill... So I'm glad the miller's finally found a norm... You've got a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Mutt.
What?
He belonged to this girl I knew. She saved my life in my hometown, Skalitz.
Well, I'll be... I used to have a dog, but...
He died.
He started getting these lumps all over his body. He stopped, but what's done is done. And what about you? What kind of...
No. Pa was a blacksmith.
Oh, really? Would you teach me how to...
Those are pretty hard. Wouldn't you rather...
Sure. I'm pretty quick to learn and patient when Krazel starts spouting off his alchemy theory. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
I don't think I've ever met anyone more annoying.
Once he told me there's no such thing in the world. What are you supposed to say to that? Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to... But now, before you came, and before Zineg fucked up with the manuscript, it has to be scraped from the walls. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in... Anyhow, now all the styes in the region are scraped clean.
The barrel isn't...
But we did bloody thorough job. Unfortunately, Krazel said we need at least...
6 times? Will one saltpeter...
I reckon so. There should be as much as Krazel needs for his... If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms.
No, I don't.
Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where... Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing...
Krazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy.
God's mysterious ways.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's...
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter.
Jesus. And you know where to look?
Not exactly, but I have an... A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know...
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the
Well, I haven't met him yet.
The cemetery is beyond Troskovitz.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious. So he's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskovitz.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go... Lots of... Henry.
I'd like you...
And what would you like?
Tell me how to sneak around.
All right, I'll show you something, but...
Put that away. You could hurt someone.
Watch out with that weapon!
There.
Hungry, eh?
God bless. I'll have a look at... Pleasure doing business. Take care.
You must be the
Ignatius. Looking for a final resting place?
none of that. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent.
From Lower Semine?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that.
Nah. It's actually these white crystals form on the walls of it.
Ah, you should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about salt? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take...
Really?
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. I have some collections from some Slatigo farmsteads, and at least one day I...
You want me to help you with your grape?
Why not? You look like a strong fella.
I have a better idea. You tell me...
I won't say no to that. Oh, aye. Now, listen closely. That we'll take together...
So you got meat out of me for nothing?
When I see how much you lot in Lower Semine are interested in it, I'm not just going to... But thanks for the meat. And don't... Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner, and if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with their...
Of course. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me. I wouldn't like to lose the honour I've earned as squire to a note.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you up. So what then? Shall we take a nice and early at daybreak? Didn't you understand me? Like I said, be here at daybreak.
Is there some place I...
Of course, if you've got nothing better to do. If you know how to read, I have a book hidden in the outhouse I got of it. In fact, you can keep it. All I can do is admire all them.
And where can I sleep?
At the inn in Truskowitz. Get a good... Here's a little something so you know I take care... The dew is still on... You don't need your horse. I'll stable in any case. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly... Did I bring that stuff for fun? Come on, then. Get a move on. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, you could say that. I help the miller with whatever I can. I got a place to sleep there. Soon I'll be able to call the miller uncle.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that bunny of yours belong to that gang too?
Bonnie's an honest girl, and her friend Zinek is too. Crazel only sent them to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties, so that's just what they've been doing. From what she told me, they had nothing else in mind.
Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Yeah! Yeah! Lazy bones. Whoa, boys! Whoa! Whoa. Come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
I can't see a thing through those bushes.
You'll go and have a close look. Don't worry. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally. At least we're not blocking the road too much.
Heel!
Oh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
No idea what you're...
Hey, we got another
I want to talk to you.
What's going on, Ignatius?
Ah, I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do. They should go to lower...
Two stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars. Some scruffy and dunger. You.
I'm Henry, and those,
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, a passion for knacking is the only thing we...
Is that so?
Ignatius is telling there are all sorts of types causing trouble in these parts. Ignatius and I thank you for taking on the job of guarding the roads, making sure that honest, if somewhat grubby...
Aye, that's...
Really good work, lad. Well, time waits for no man.
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them...
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear. Let's go, fella. Maybe...
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck... The next farm's just up ahead. Hop. Here we go, Peter. Don't worry. That was just a kind of little favour for me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jdar with their carcasses.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop them up and haul them off. I mean, you'll scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
And then Satan himself appeared in the sky. Happens all the time.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right. I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly. Yeah! Yeah!
I'd rather go back to sacks of flour.
Well, I wish you and your helper lots of luck today. May God bless you.
You too. You too.
What the? Did I step in shit? Oh, it's you.
Pretty hefty, hey? They lived like royalty here.
Do you want to keep going or not?
Those pigs came here to drink. Where to now? I can smell something upstream. It really wasn't a curse. They're a rotting carcass. No wonder the pigs caught...
Well, what do you... I'll give you a hand. It'd take you...
I took care of the car...
Nice work. There's even a...
Yeah, you'd eat that.
But nicely in the cold. There's nothing wrong. Let's keep going. Seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around today. So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course, it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature, so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
Well, what can I do? But I doubt I'll feel good about it.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Vizar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Yeah! Yeah! Lazy bones. Good doggy. Good boy.
Praise be Jesus Christ. I went through
Dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to? Barking. It's coming from over there.
Where'd you come from?
Bonnie?
What are you doing here?
The gravedigger wants me to poison that dog.
Jesus!
But what else can I do? You just tactfully neglected to mention that when you and Zinnek were acting as his...
Shit.
This is all I have left to do before he takes...
And couldn't you find the pit without that? I'd like to keep him in place of my poor...
You're a poor creature who's terrorized...
It's not the animals. When Zinnek and I were here last, I saw how old he doesn't give him food. He abuses him. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because it's...
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out... If you want to take him, I won't stop...
You're a much better Christian than I... I'll take him to the lair. We'll...
Hurry off now, before someone...
Come on now, boy. You'll like it in the lair.
God be with you.
It's taken care...
Taken care of? What do you mean?
The dog is dead.
Dead, eh? And what are your son...
Well, I did it exactly how you told me.
Oh, aye. And how...
I dipped the meat in poison. He ate it.
So, it all went how it should. He's done for, the beast. Let's go.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy. Slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
But there's hardly 3 heaps here.
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some... And the better it rots, the more niter you'll have.
I won't. The miller will probably send some...
Well, they'd better not dig it all up. That'd disturb... And soon they'll find out there's no...
Well... I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really...
God's nails. Unless... Wait a moment. I've got a reward for you. Just so's you don't think old Ignatius... And take it as a thanks for your help. Maybe you'll take...
Who knows? I'll live at the cemetery, build piles of carcass.
Here's something that'll definitely... Either with me or...
Thanks.
Taste it, then. Get to it. This I have got to see. You didn't have to make such a feast of
it. Look at me. From a Lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers.
Cold and salty. This must be it.
If you're going back to your cottage...
Of course. But so there's some more saltpeter.
Greetings, my friend.
I found the place where you just head out of Troskovitz towards Apollonia, only it's not a pit. It's 3 piles. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there.
And is it the real stuff?
Yeah. And I hope I think the experience is...
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. I was hoping if I sent 2 wagons, it'll...
What should I do? Crazul, focus.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of certain circumstances have emerged, which...
Wait, what do you mean?
Not for now.
What about all the niter?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too...
So, the search for...
Not at all. The saltpeter... The origin.
God...
As alchemical scholars, we actually to penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and...
Eh? Tell me, so what's the next task, Craig?
There's a quiet whisper coming from the open gate. Do you hear it too?
No.
Scribe Erzim received a chest from Prague.
Hermes Trismegistus?
No, a book. And from an author even more. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. You might say...
So you're gonna have me go and pick some...
Did I say anything about when the castle was still closed? I planned to get the book through the castle chamberlain, but now that you have access to Trosk...
What about that certain woman?
That's old news. He's a great lover of knowledge. I'm sure he'd be happy to indulge another kindred...
Let's hope so. And that I won't have to ride around Trotsky.
Just do your best. But, looking back at your 2 previous tasks, go and see Erzim and ask him about the book. Then, best of luck, Em.
I reckon I'll need it.
To what your relatives are like.
Precisely. When it comes to land and money, you can only...
I had an unpleasant confrontation of my own the other day.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived. There's one I'd like to borrow. A sand-coloured cover.
Yes, several rare and... But why are you interested in an alchemist?
We couldn't agree on a price. As soon as he heard that, he was meek as a lamb.
I've heard there are some interest... Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit.
Perhaps you know more about that book. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. And the one you're looking for, he left with it before I could even discover. All I remember is the author's initial. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now.
I'll have a talk with Nick Vard and find out what...
You think I haven't tried? But since you've already... It seems Nick Vard... I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him. But Nick Vard is old and stubborn.
The price of such a book must be incalculable.
But as I said, Nick Vard is in... I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. But...
I reckon those aren't the only 3 people that...
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone, but Nick Vard is a loner. Which is also why I suspect now that he's decided to leave his... But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkove's arrival, I've been preoccupied with other matters.
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nick Vard.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
I won't keep you any longer.
Greetings.
Bertha, instead of... The scribe told me you might know something about it.
Well, I brewed him another phial of medicine. I told him to stop by for another one soon.
Did he say where he was headed?
I can't say. I promised Lord...
Oh, come now. Nick Vard misplaced an important book somewhere. I need to find it.
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord...
Listen, Bertha. I'm glad that you're such... Sometimes one has to learn... You never know when a secret... If you tell me what ails Nick Vard, and don't tell me it isn't just a little exciting to divulge...
Never. The guilt would eat me.
Well, if a nobleman's secret is worth so much...
I suppose Lord Libac wouldn't mind. And do you have...
Oh, sacra.
Well...
About Nick...
How many times do I have...
Medicine from...
That's none of you...
Well, if an...
I suppose Lord Libac...
Of course.
So many groschen. I promise I'll split it with...
But now tell me.
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. In that regard, Lord Libac had... Everything came out much too quickly.
Nick Vard didn't have time to run down the...
It was in the privy down below the crone. By the train, I helped him clean his hose and made him the medicine. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on... That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters. Though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena in... But this time...
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire... It happens to the best of us. And I told him as much. I must say, he did look as if the fate of the entire...
I don't know if this is going to do me.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway.
You silly dog.
End of the week. I observed the day of rest, but otherwise, I'm always on the go. I'd feel bad if I wasn't.
Admirable. I hope you keep it up. But even so, I think you should slow down a bit.
Do you know where I can find Nickvard?
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickvard and me, but when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickvard.
Aye, I heard you. Say, can you read?
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickvard?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Never mind. Read on. Though I...
Persevere. We shall soon escape cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can... But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed...
How much longer?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
True enough.
My, that's Liebach.
But what does it mean?
Lord, I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have... But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame. So I suppose it worked.
I know the book he's talking about, but what does he mean into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little...
I need help.
No! And now...
Good day to you.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord. I suppose his task wasn't so pressing.
What do you mean from...
Nick Liebach, that is, entrusted me. He's a castle lord. Oh, but then I heard what another castle lord was planning. Von Bergoff. He says there's a war on.
I need to know more about what Nickvard...
No. There are new rules now.
What are you blathering?
Von Bergoff said that I told him, watch out for spies, Sir Otto. You're a spy yourself.
I'm not.
Ha! That's exactly what That's why you have to be vetted. To see if you're the side that Nickvard's on. Just so you know. We're all friends here.
I'd like to.
Hold your horse.
Tell me what you want from me, then.
A sword.
Sword? What sword?
A long and very good one to help me. If you bring it to me, I'll know you're not an... Forge one, buy one, or even maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate. During the day, they're not... One side?
Listen, Hirsch.
Don't try any word. Deeds talk loud.
I'll think of a way. About Nick.
Got that sword.
You wanted a...
That's perfect. I don't think you're a spy.
What about Nick Var?
Nick Var asked me to do something for him. He must have... Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him, and I told him I would. At least I could... But then Nick Vard clutched his belly and ran off.
So that's all?
Aye. If you run into Nick Vard, I'll be going into war soon.
I'll tell him.
I've got plenty of bloody work to go around.
Damn it.
Where's that damn gravedigger?
You must be Nick Vard, eh?
Hail?
Poor wretch.
I hope someone pays for a requiem mass. Oh, it's starting to stink. Where's that damned gravedigger? I hope someone pays for a
Sand-coloured
requiem
cover,
mass.
embossed. That'll be the book Crazel. Once, it looks quite ordinary. Apart from being covered in shit.
Oh, it's starting to stink.
king would that be? I don't know exactly, but when the king commands, his subjects have to obey, don't they? You didn't hear it from the trader who sold you the bow, by any chance? Aye. Come to think of it, it was him who told me.
God bless you.
I have the book for you.
Well, I must admit, I haven't had an apprentice this hand.
I had a peek inside. The pictures are nice, but what do you want to learn?
You'll find out soon enough. Show me that miraculous thing. This really... But why is it all covered in shit for...
Let's just say the scribe didn't have it. It actually wasn't even under it, really.
Oh, refining saltpeter. Boil. Of course. I'll study. Well, the last chapter of our story.
So what now?
Charcoal. As long as Black Bertolt didn't make any mistakes in his calculations.
What Bertolt? I'm tired of flying back and forth like a rag on a stick. I won't be led around by the nose.
Believe it or not, all this secrecy had its reasons. It's time. We'll meet with the others in the lake. You go ahead. I'm going to get...
All right, then.
Excuse me.
What'll happen now?
Our last supper, with only one but very filling course, awaits us.
Crazel, please. For once, just once, tell me what's actually going on.
And rob myself of enjoying your blissful ignorance? Not a chance. Tell me yourself, what do you think is going to happen?
Well...
Or not, until you try another dose.
I wouldn't do that to him. Bonnie will start today. At least I'll finally see if she understood my teaching. Bonnie?
First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the whole gang for all the work you... We found 2 new partners, you and Monarch here. It's good to have someone. So, it's time we started being honest.
Not yet. Let's pull up that uppity bastard's leg a bit longer. That's the fun.
No, Z-Neck. First of all, I rather like them legs of his. And secondly, this whole time you've been collecting ingredients. But, so you wouldn't go nosing around, we always told you it was for something different than...
The miller here calls it tackets.
Tactics, you idiot. And everything worked out according to plan. So, with the help of Hermes Trismegistos and his successors, we...
Exactly, Bonnie.
Magnum opus. A great work of alchemy.
I see you've learned something after all. But no.
Let's see then, Henry. What is it you think we...
The most precious metal of...
Well, Henry's not too far. Attempts to create gold started it all. Let's start at the beginning. My father was a miller as well, but I was never much interested in Even as a young boy, I loved running around Lower Samine and investigating everything. And my mother, God rest her soul, decided as soon as I grew up and gained a bit of sense, I packed...
So you went to a university in Prague?
Why not? My father worked his arse off. I met a lot of remarkable people at the university, but in the end, it only took a year of all that pretentious, scholarly blathering, and most of the students and masters are just a bunch of dogmatic fools. They have their own truth, and those who want to know more or ask the wrong questions fall into disfavor, as was my case.
So they kicked you?
I didn't give them the pleasure. The most important science is not subject to any religious dogma. The art of combination and dissolution, the key to understanding the very nature of the world. I returned to the mill in Lower Samine and started a new life.
What did your parents say when you returned from...
My mother had already passed away. All my father said was, I knew you'd be. I think in the end he was glad to have someone to take over from then on. I brought a few important books from Prague. I started with the most difficult.
That was pretty daring of you.
As you might expect, it didn't work. But after a few... Once I tried mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. I almost shit myself, I tell you. But then I realized I'd done explosive black powder.
What is it?
More than that, it makes a big bang.
A very big bang. But don't worry.
I couldn't continue my experiments on my own. But Bonnie and...
So he initiated us. And we used up a huge amount of saltpeter.
By the way, the manuscript from that Hermes Tristy...
Only we didn't know correct proportions. I looked up a few, and we found out that before us...
Some fella called Black Bertold. And that he even started writing a book called...
Feuerwerkbuch.
We couldn't believe our luck when we found out there's a copy of it right here at
And you know the rest.
It's a discovery that will change history. In the right hands, it can make... All it takes is a spark, and a storm of fire will sweep away the...
And what will happen now?
As I said, we're about to have our last supper on our journey. Black Bertold never finished his book, because he never had enough ingredients. But now, thanks to you, we do. We'll see with our own eyes what a barrel of black powder...
I've heard enough. Now I want to see that with my own...
Let's do it then.
Indeed it is.
Looks like it ain't working.
I'd say it works just fine.
This will change history.
What? I can't hear a thing. But I'd say it works just fine.
long as you listen to me and keep the proportions right, you won't
Hole's
fuck
maybe
it
9
up.
feet deep. No splinters, white ash.
You really led me on about the gunpowder magazine. A golem made of dough, souls inside saltpeter.
Not exactly. It's all based on the real philosophy. I studied the writings of Bonaventura and Dietrich von Freiburg, but they work brilliantly as a cover-up, don't you think?
I really thought you'd have a golem made from...
Nah, but black powder is no less.
So for the last time, Crazel, what now?
I'll do what I promised. And what will most likely... I'm going to gather together all the knowledge I've acquired.
Uh-huh.
That's up to you, Henry. Lord Samin has no hold over you. You know, the inevitability of God's plan takes no interest.
That sounds somehow hopeful in a peculiar way. Now I'm even happier about the great...
The ideal conclude. Maybe it's time to carry sacks. But if you're still interested in learning a bit more, drawing from the well...
I know where to find you.
Indeed.
You seem like a reasonable...
Where are you going with this?
Well, I reckon if you share them with me, it'll make it easy.
I'm glad you know what you're getting yourself. Are you interested in the theory of light?
That's a bit too fast for me.
What? I have no time for them.
Well, I'll be happy.
All right. Throw in a few coins and
I reckon you could teach me...
That's a true art. You need to master the knowledge. Let's get to work.
Christ, can't you wash up before going out in...
Would you know of any other...
The only thing you can do in this... But go and ask those woodcutters on the opposite hill.
Why the woodcut?
Just think about it. They've been cutting timber in the middle of nowhere for... They work all day long and don't move an inch.
I think I know what you're getting at.
All their earnings must be hidden somewhere in their camp.
What does Crazel say about...
He said it would be obvious it was one of us. After all, they can see right into our... But you're not from around here. Greetings.
Greetings.
That smell wasn't here before.
Christ, pardon me.
Would you know of any...
The only thing you can... But go and ask those woodcutters.
Why the wood...
Just think about it. They work all day...
I think I know what you...
All their earnings...
Hmm.
But if you're first, I'd lose my job, and...
Don't you worry. Crazel's...
All right. So Crazel took you on just like that. Surprising. Crazel hardly trusts anyone. He's a smart. Don't you even think about betraying you? That would end badly for you. Not to scare you, though. That's not what I'm here for. What are you waiting for?
Stay.
Come over here. So what then? I don't have all day. Come to me.
Let's begin.
Not so fast. You're new here, so...
Don't worry.
Well, well, well. You found...
In the front pouch, of course.
All right. I see you have some skills. Do you think you're up to...
I'm not quite ready.
Don't you want to hear about it anyway?
All right.
First of all, rich or poor, most folk, the front one holds keys, coin, and other...
And the rest is in the...
Exactly. Now, this is important. Don't steal from the front...
Well, what if I need something?
You can try taking it from behind. It'll be more... Show me how nimble your fingers are.
All right.
Come on now, stop stalling. Did you fall asleep? Do you have it yet? Wrong. You want to try again?
Done.
Very nice. I didn't notice you at all, and that's exactly what...
Here you go.
That's it. It's a simple art. But if you...
I'd rather try...
Why not? Since, well then, it's easy. Sneak up behind me. Just remember, you must...
All right.
Shit! That hurt. You knocked me out nicely. I didn't notice you at all. Nice job. I didn't fight back the first time. This time I won't make it so easy. Remember, if your victim is able to defend himself,
The miller said I could wrestle with you.
look at you champing at the bit. You do have the coin.
Wait, you never...
Did you really think we brawled? Well, maybe we do a bit, but still.
If you say so.
Great. Get your ass ready.
Give it all you.
Ha! Fucking hell! Slow down, damn it! Useless! You fight like a little girl. Not so hard, you'll cripple me. God bless you.
Good day.
I'm sorry. Nice. Nice.
Thanks.
But we'll see how you fare against Mother. Oh, yeah.
What's it going to be then? Now it's my turn.
Why did you start with all this
Just look around. The mill's in the arsehole of nowhere, miles to the...
So you rather let yourself get...
Well, I'm usually the one...
Well...
Aye, all right. It's got...
What funny stuff?
Kicks in the balls, fingers in the nose, biting and...
Don't you worry.
We'll see about that. And what about the wager?
Here it is.
That's the way I like... Come closer. Nice. Nice. Just you wait. There you go. Take that. Just you wait. Come closer. Useless. Bam. There you go.
Feeling better?
Oh, yes. That ointment.
God damn! You gave me the runaround.
You all right?
Well, a bit of liquor to ease the pain, a bit for the tummy, and I'll be all right. You're gonna... If you wanted to train a bit before then, let me know. And here's your wager.
Who always got heartburn just before it snowed. You could team up.
All we need is a bloke who can't get it up when it's going to be sunny, and we'll be the three wise men.
Giving up.
Where should I lie? Well, it's best if you go up the stairs to the next floor, and then climb the...
So how about that?
Wouldn't you like to?
All secretive again, are we?
Sorry. My great work is complete. I picked up work. I believe that my work will lay the foundation.
Sounds interesting.
Sorry, Henry, but that won't happen. If anyone heard about the book, that I hid the original so well, even...
You know I'd never tell anyone about it.
What if you were tortured, huh? I even made an exact copy, just to be safe.
So maybe you could lend me...
It's no longer here. I paid a messenger to take...
Giving up.
So you're the toughest one?
Aye.
Still, it's odd that the miller...
I just do what I'm told.
You'd rather keep things...
I suppose.
I want to fight you.
Are you sure?
Don't you worry about me.
Well, got the coin for a wait.
Yeah.
Get ready then.
You'll be shitting out your own teeth when I'm done with you. Fucking cunt! You'll be shitting out your own teeth when I'm done with you. Oh, Christ! Shit! I'll pull your guts out from your throat. I'll pull your guts out from your throat. Useless.
God bless you.
Did you hear about what the bailiff is planning?
No, I don't care for gossip.
Nor do I. But this is important.
I'm not interested.
But this is about money.
What? Go on then.
He wants to fleece us again.
Damn it, that's just what we need.
Exactly. We'll have to talk to the others this evening and... Well, fuck me.
You're full of surprises yourself. Not even...
Oh, I know. One, here's the coin, and go and see Crazel. He could send you to Shelly-off instead of me.
See you around then.
Well, Miller, it seems I...
Even, Vera? Listen, what if I sent...
Sure.
What? Great. I'll pay the entry fee, and if you want to train a bit more...